your girl NueNew the Hair Diva, and I'm back with you with the third update of my Pan That Palette challenge for 2017. If you haven't seen the intro or the first and second update, I will put that in the description bar below, as well as the iCards above. Please be sure to check that out, because I think I go into detail on why I chose these two palettes and my progress. This time I'm going to let you know some more progress and some changes of the palettes. What we have here is the Divergent palette, and we have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So I'm going to do the Divergent palette first, because we all know about the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. So let me just move that out of the way, and let's get started. This was a limited edition shadow. I got it in June of 2015, and as you can see, I chose it to be for the Pan the Palette challenge. Back here you have three eyeshadows: Candor Lace, Luminous Taupe, and Envious Chocolate. There's a blush, Rosy Horizon, and a bronzer called Compassionate Copper. What I'm going to do is insert a picture here so that you can see what the palette looked like during the last update. Okay, now we're going to go and look at the palette now to see what it looks like. Ta-da! Okay, so remember, this is the bronzer, this here was the blush, and these are the three shadows. I have to let you know that I removed the blush, and I believe this was Rosy Horizon. It was pink. It was a pink that was too light for my skin. It didn't blend, well, it blended well, so forgive me for saying that. However, y'all already know, NueNew don't like pink. So we went on ahead and removed that. This here is the Compassionate Copper, and that is a bronzer. However, during the fall winter, it is like my winter color. So I can use this all over the face as a powder, and that's how I chose to use it. However, this is the dent. And on the screen here, you will see what it looked like last time. Okay, so now we're going to get to the shadows. These shadows here are nice and creamy. This white color here, I don't use that often, but I don't want to remove it, because I do like to use it to lighten up darker colors that I've gone into heavy. And even though it makes it a little bit of a cool tone, it's allowing me to learn how to blend other shades, to use them to erase or add more color. This beautiful color here, very pretty, I hope you can see that. It's a lid color, it's shimmering, and I don't have a problem using it. However, I have it in 3-4 other palettes, so I don't find myself running to this palette just to use these 4 colors that you see here. This brown here, as you can see, there is a dent in both, but this brown here is just a basic nice dark brown that I like to use. But once again, I don't run to this palette to use it that often. So I will say this: by the next update, and I'm not exactly sure when that will be, But by the next update, I will show you this palette again, and I will decide then if I'm going to give this palette to baby girl, get it out of my collection. She loves these colors, and I know that she will definitely use this palette up. And she could take it with her to travel because she used these colors pretty much every day. So that is the Divergent palette. Now, let's get into the chocolate bar palette. I am going to widen this just a little bit. Let's get into this chocolate bar palette. First, on the screen, let me show you what the palette looked like during the last update. So there's the picture, and as you can see, that's what it looks like. Now let me show you what the palette looks like for this update. Very, very excited. Ta-da! Yes, we have hit pan and put more dents and so many more colors. First, let me go into these shades that you see that are missing. During the last update, I decided that those were colors that I wasn't going to use, so I removed them. They were pink, they were colors that looked like baby poo, they were colors that had too many shimmers or glitters, and they just didn't work right on my eye. So I decided, like some others, to just remove them out of the project because I know I wouldn't use them. Please don't look at that as me not completing an entire palette. I understand that, but however, the shades that I have kept, they let me know what colors I can work with in a neutral tone and how to work with them. So now let me show you a picture of the update for the milk chocolate. You should be seeing that on the screen. As you can see, the pan has gotten bigger. It's a little harder to get into these corners, even though I still have a lot of shadow there. I find myself having to dig into it just a little bit, but I use this as a all over transition color. This next color here, Semi-Sweet, let me show you a picture of that. Semi-Sweet, I love as a transition if I want a little darker color. I love it as a all over on the lid as well. And I like mixing the two. It just gives me like a latte kind of color between the both. I would have to say the next color that I hit pan in is Hazelnut. So here is a picture of what it looked like before. And the Hazelnut is a beautiful shimmer. It is just like the other shimmer in the Divergent palette. So, you know, this is what I'm using, and that is why I don't go to the Divergent palette that often. The next color I hit pan in is Creme Brulee. So here's a picture of what that looks like during the last update. And as you can see, I pretty much focus going straight down in the middle when I use these. I decided to use these two colors to give me a all over color for one shadow, or just a little bit of a liner, or just some shimmer over these colors here to give a little bit of depth while I am going to work. The next color that I made a good dent in is Hot Chocolate. Now, Hot Chocolate and Hazelnut are pretty much like the same color. They look the same. Those are what those colors look like. And this is what it looks like on the arm. As you can see, one is a little more pink and the other one is mauve. But on the eye, it shows as the same color. So yeah, that's why I have more of this one and not as much of that. But this one is also a good transition color if you want more of a satin / shimmer effect. And it's okay. I do like using it for that. These two colors here, love them. Marzipan. I don't use this as an all over, but I do use it in the tear duct area. Not as much. It's still pink. However, it doesn't look that pinky on my eyes, so I do use it. My favorite, and I'm surprised I don't have a dent in it, but it's probably because of how I use it, is salted caramel. On the screen, I hope I showed you pictures of each one as I talked about them. But salted caramel, here's a picture of that. And what I like to do with salted caramel, that is more of like a peachy pink. And I like to use it as an eraser. I use it as a brow bone highlight and an eraser when I go too dark with like these browns or these cranberry colors there. It brightens it up and it gives me the effect of more of a ombre. And so I do like that. This color here that we have, white chocolate, as you can see, there's a little bit of a dent right here in the corner. Here is a picture of what it looked like before. This color is more of like a creamy eggshell, so it does work on my skin. I'll put it in between, and that's what that color looks like. It does work on my skin, and I do like it. So I will not get rid of that because that I use as brow bone highlight as well as an eraser if needed. Now we're going to come over to these three colors that I pretty much haven't touched. This amaretto, it's nice. It is a satin finish, but it's pretty much like when you blend hazelnut and hot chocolate, you're gonna get amaretto. So this one, I'm letting this video stand as testimony, will be removed from this palette. I know I won't use it. I will focus on the ones that you see, I guess I do love more. So that will be removed. This one here called Cherry Cardinal, I haven't used it. I don't know why. I will keep that in there just in case, because I'm not sure what other palettes I have actually have a color like that. So that I will keep in here. And this is the brown that I was using, besides using the brown in the Divergent palette. Yeah, it's just a brown, triple fudge. So I will keep that in there. So by the next time you see an update, you will not see this in there as well. 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be 6 shadows that I will remove. At the moment, we only have 5. So this is what my palette looks like for this update. Alright everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this Pan That Palette Challenge update for 2017. I do enjoy these palettes, but like I said, this one here we may not keep to the next update because it's pretty much the same thing as here. They both are neutrals, and I find myself using the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette a whole lot more. So yeah, let me go on ahead and end this by saying to all be blessed, wear your makeup, save your money, and NueNew will see you in a few days with the next video. Bye.